Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how to change some of the settings on the body control module. Things like on my car I'm going to be activating come home lights, which means when I finish or get out of the car, if I click the high beam on the car, the lights will stay active on the front for another 30 seconds, I think it is. Just allows you to illuminate everything around you. Pretty good in the winter if you want to see your drive, up your drive, and see your door or whatever. It's just something extra we can code in. I'm also going to show you how to activate Android Auto on the R-Link head unit, which we've got here. But yeah, first off, you're going to need a few bits of kit. This isn't something you can just do on your own with just a laptop. You are going to need a laptop. You're going to need some software. I use software called Renolink. You're going to need a lead. So this is a vLinker FS. I got that from Amazon. And then I downloaded the Renolink software. You have to go through a bit of setup for it. The lead needs linking with the software. So when you get it, follow the information on there. You send the company you buy it from some information on the lead. They then send you back a file that you add to sort of, what do they call it, the root of the program, and then everything works perfectly fine. Works perfectly fine for most of the stuff in the car. I think they call it can high and can low, or can 1, can 2. So a lot of the stuff in here is on one channel, and then a few things like the stereo are on a second channel. I think you can get automatically switching OBD cables. What I've done is made myself a hard line changed one. So what I've done is I've bought a splitter cable, again from Amazon. And what I've done is I've rewired the one end, I've labelled it 2, so that I can talk to both CAN channels at the same time. It was the easiest way rather than just making another one. This one, pretty redundant now. But yeah, once you've got these bits of kit, I'll put some information in the description where I've bought all my bits from. And I'll also flash on the screen, hopefully, if I can edit that in, a picture of the wiring diagram that allows you to change a normal OBD plug to be able to talk on both channels. I'm sure some of the more expensive kit will do it anyway. But yeah, I'll walk you through how I do it here, and hopefully it'll help you guys out, and you can do the same. Android Auto is something a lot of people want. These older cars, you still have to have the USB cable plugged in for it to work, but it works pretty well. And you can then use the microphone button on the steering wheel, which will then allow you to use Google as you normally would. Press and hold, ask it to call people, perfectly fine. Ask it to direct you places, change the map, your music, absolutely everything. So yeah, it's a nice touch. I think, to be honest, I think Android Auto over Bluetooth didn't come until sort of like 2018, 2019 on a lot of head units anyway. So you do have to have a cable plugged in for it to work. But yeah, I'll go through how I do it now. So we'll start with the headlights. We've got the cable plugged directly, and I haven't put the splitter cable out. We're going to use a program called Renolink. What we're going to do is we're going to scan the car. So if you've got to this point and you're on a Clio IV, if it's a phase 1, the Clio IV is an X98. That's its model number. There is a phase 2 in there as well. Mine's a crossover, but I have found most parts in the X98. Click addressing, click open. Then you want ECU list XML in this one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scan. And what that's going to do is going to talk to the ECUs in the car, all the different ones. It's going to address them all up here as it finds them. There we go, there's the first one. It's basically going to list every ECU that it can communicate with. This can take up to 5 minutes. So I'll be back in a minute. So once it's finished scanning, you should end up with a list of the ECUs it can talk to. or body control modules and stuff. What it's going to have done now is automatically loaded these onto the left hand side. It's very similar to DDT for all. DDT for all in fact uses the Renolink database for all this information. So you click close, and then what we're going to do is we've got to find the correct one that works with the lighting units. See, it's UPC EMM. So it's going to populate this. When it wants, and we want the one that concerns lighting. And we're going to want one of these two. What we're going to have to do, let's have a look. There we go, EMM lighting configuration. What I'm going to do is if I click start stop communication, it's going to populate all this, which tells us where it's set to. When you're doing it, what you want to do is fill all this in exactly the same as this, so that if you accidentally click send, it doesn't write everything off. What you're going to want is follow me home there. That, as it is on mine, is set to 1. It's currently, well, if we sent it now, it'd be set as 0. What you want to do is put a 1 in there with everything else exactly as it is, then click send, and that will be your come home lights working. Sometimes on later generation ones, you've got remote lighting as a button. If you change that to 1, the button on your key card will start working as well. My car's an early one, so it doesn't have that. So not too fussed by it. Be nice to have. Maybe I'll code it in the future. If we change out to LEDs and stuff, I'm not sure if it's even available. But that is how you put on the come home lights. So from this point onwards, when you get out of the car, we'll stop the car. If you click that, you can see my lights have come on. And that should stay active for 30 seconds. The car will still do its automatic locking and everything as you leave. But yeah, that's how you do that part of it. You can change lots of settings in here. I've not messed with most of them at all. I don't really want to mess it up. I've got what I need out of it. But yeah, that's how you do the follow me home lights. There you go, it's gone off. So it runs for about 30 seconds, I think. Turns the lights off automatically. Just gives you that extra lighting outside the car. Especially with winter coming, it's not a bad idea. Nice little touch to activate. But yeah, right. Next, I'll get on to coding Android Auto into the head unit using the same program. So we're going to go through the same process again. This time we've got my custom splitter lead plugged in. Scan again, same ECUs and everything. This time it's going to give us a different list of ECUs it can connect to, but it will also link up to the navigation one. So there you go, you can see we've got a lot more ECUs on here. What we're looking for on my one now is nav, MFD, multifunction display V5.4. I have updated mine to the latest one, so I'm assuming that's why it says 5.4. So we'll close that out. It's not that one. Nav. And what we're going to go to is 13 ECU configuration. And what you're going to need to do is scroll down. Scroll back up now. So on here as standard it says not present. So what you want to do is change these out. Server or SPVR server maybe for iPhone. Android Auto feature, you want that on. Watch this. So if I click connect, it should tell me what's on my car now. And there we go. So present present, not present, no, no, and present. So you want to change SPVR for iPhone to present, Android Auto feature to present, and then you want to change the SPVR for other phones to present as well. And that will then give you Android Auto. Once you've done this and you've clicked Write ECU config, it'll send it to the head unit. You might have to press this button 5 times to do a reset. But if you've done it correctly, when you go to settings, you'll have this one pop up here, Android Auto settings. Go through that, have it on your phone as well, and then after that point, when you plug your phone into the USB lead, it'll be linked to your head unit. You'll have Google Maps and absolutely everything up there, Spotify and whatever else you use. Mine works perfectly fine so far. But yeah, it's as easy as that. I'll tell you what, the installing of the software and getting the lead linked up correctly took longer than this. I will say though, make sure that you have a look at the settings that you've already got and take photos if you have to. This software has the ability to completely change all the settings on every component of the car, and if you do it wrong, you can end up with warning lights at a minimum that you don't want, full Christmas tree up on the dash, so the car not working completely, and then you're having to pay out for someone else to sort it for you. And a lot of garages, most garages won't have access to any of this, let alone the original settings. So you may end up going back to Renault, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg, or you'll get a new control unit for whichever one you've damaged from Renault through your independent garage, with the blanket settings on it, which will probably also cost you a shit ton of money. So do be very careful with this software, Renolink and DDT for all. Both are very, very dangerous if you do it wrong. So take your time. Hopefully these 2 bits of information there have helped you out. Do check, I can't stress enough, do check what you're doing before you click Write ECU config. Sometimes the buttons are this big and they only write this bit of information. Sometimes the button, like you saw on the lighting one, writes to absolutely everything at the same time. So yeah, just be careful. That's my warning. I'll link in the description all the parts and everything that I've purchased to do this. Next up is going to be coding the head unit for RS monitor, which it didn't have. And yeah, I'm following someone else's guide, so I'll also link their stuff below. But hopefully this helps you without having to pay, I think, 200 quid for Android Auto and RS monitor to be activated on one of these most places. So if this saves you a little bit of money, great. If not, and you're local to me, give me a shout and I'll give you a hand doing it myself. Okay, here's another one we're going to try and do. Another add-on to this. So we've already got the Android Auto up and running and activated. We've done that using through the OBD port. But to get the RS monitor working, we're going to have to actually write new information to the EEPROM on the back of the head unit. I followed a guide from a chap on YouTube. I'll link him below. Give him a subscribe and follow as well, because without his guide and the stuff I've downloaded from him, I wouldn't know what to get and what to change. So on his guide it says that we can just pull this forward. My radio, it just comes apart. Oh, savage. I need to do this at some point, because if you notice on mine, all this chrome is flaked off, so I want to wrap that. What I'm going to do is I'll disconnect that out of the way. So right, next up, we need a T20. I haven't got a T20 Allen cable, I have got a T20 socket, so there we go, that should make it easy. So it's 4 T20s around the side of the screen. Okay, that's the 4 screws out. This should now come forward. He says, okay, there's little retaining clips there. Okay, I'll just show you around the back. I need to disconnect these. On his video he had one there, but I know this is a trophy and I think a later car as well. So we're just going to unplug all these. So let's get that done. So the black one looks like power. The blue one is an aerial. Don't know what the other two are. Okay, that's the head unit out. I was going to try and put the lights on for you, but it doesn't seem to work with everything unplugged. Right, there we go. So that's the unit out. You can see there. So I've now got 4 T10s to remove from the back. What I don't want to do is drop the screws. I'll find it in a minute. Doke. And if you follow his guide, you should, I'll tell you what, if you follow his guide, he shows that you need to connect to this EEPROM here and basically reprogram it. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip our bit of kit onto it, put the power on, clip our bit of kit to it, pull the data off it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the laptop away, modify the data to everything that's in his guide, come back, write it back on, and then hopefully, all being well, we'll have the RS monitor on there as well, which would be good. I think it shows boost pressure, oil temps, water temps, things that the car doesn't have on there as standard, so a nice little upgrade. So if you're following Jordan's guide as well, you should... Right, hopefully we're in the right place for that. Right, so let's open the program up. And administrator. God. Right, so we want to do a read. Right, that looks like a good read. We've got lots of information there. What you're going to want to do now is save it. RS Clio, what are we? Euro 5 Orange. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect it, take this inside, change the data I need to do in there. Again, it's all in Jordan's PDF. Then I'm going to come back and hopefully flash it back on, and we'll see if it works. See you in a minute. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm absolutely bricking it that I might completely trash the car. Oh, here we go. So we are back. I have modified a file. Just open it back up again. Hopefully this has been done right. I'm going to do is connect it back up. Hopefully, I don't know about you guys sat there on the other end of the video on YouTube or on one of the forums. I'm actually bricking it. So what I want to do now is write it. Verify. Uh-oh. Chip main memory with the contents are in disagreement. I'm assuming that's wrong. So let's flip this around the other way. Don't brick your stereo aid. Right, it's open again. Open. Modded one. Right. Verify. Yes. Okay, I'm going to disconnect this, plug things in loosely and see if it works. So I've just done a 5-button reset. So you press the home button 5 times and it should run through the reset procedure. You can see it's all powering back up. Can you? I can. Just about. So I don't actually know what I'm meant to be looking for because I've not had RS monitor on here, or any of my cars, or any of my Renaults actually. So we will see. RS is a good sign. R-Link. Come on, buddy. Oh, the whole car just powered down. I'm not sure that's a good look. Oh, okay. Okay. Done. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure where it is. Is it meant to be on? You can see my Android Auto is still there. Not really fussed by quality, mate. So I was faffing around trying to find it, and I couldn't see it in any settings, and then I saw this button. So I think everything's working. We'll have to give it a chance once the car's up and running. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything here back together, and then we'll have another look at it with the car started. Back in a second. So we are back in the car. This has been reassembled. Jordan's guide, absolutely excellent. Everything he said in there is great, and seems to have worked perfectly fine. If I click this button, this is the first time I've seen it with the engine running. RS monitor. Whew. Sweet. Not sure what it's actually showing me. Over red light red taps the throttle because I'm on the wrong side of the car. Oh, that's the brake. kind of cool. Yeah, this. Oh, I can select things on there. Oh, I'm gonna have loads of fun playing with all this now. Yeah, this, along with the coding of Android Auto. Doing this myself, I'm not gonna lie, well, to be fair, the kit to do this, the RS monitor, was about 16 quid. The kit to do the coding of the entire car, with Renolink and a lead, I think it was the best part of 70 quid, 75 quid maybe. That said, that gives me the ability to code loads of stuff in here, along with come home lights that I've already done, the Android Auto. I think this costs about 200 quid elsewhere. So if you want me to do it for you, cool, hit me up, I'll do it for you. But follow the guide, follow what I've done. If you want to do it all yourself, save yourself a little bit of money and have a bit of fun at the same time. Like I said, big thanks to Jordan and some of the people on Clio Sport who have linked me or pointed me in Jordan's direction. I'll link his channel underneath. He's got all the info. You can download it all from him, the guide, the parts you need to order, absolutely everything. But yeah, great stuff. Thanks for that. Track driving. No idea what all this is. Insert USB stick to load GPS maps. Maybe I can put maps on for certain tracks. No idea. There's loads of stuff on there. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, looks like there's going to be loads of little toys to put on there and to look at. More stuff to look at instead of the road. Anyway, I wonder if it goes like the BMWs where it changes the power output, because we're going to go over that. Saying 220 there, and we go to nearly 310. I wonder if it does the BMW thing where it just scales up. I'll record it first time I go out in the car, see what happens, and I'll post that as a little short for you. But yeah, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. Hope you enjoyed the content. I'll wrap this up now. We'll get another video uploaded soon when I decide what I want to do next. Till next time.